Hey guys, how's it going? It's Janie over here at JaniesSweets, and in this episode I'm coming at you with a super simple cake design. It is the new trend that's going around, which is the fault line cake. So if you want to learn how to do this, keep on watching. So I'm starting out with my cake board. I'm going to add some buttercream at the bottom. Then I'm grabbing my 8-inch cake that I've baked in a 4-inch high pan, and I'm just going to remove part of the top just so that I have a more flat surface to work with. Then I'm going to cut the cake straight in half, just eyeballing where the half point is, just so that I can have about approximately 1-inch thick layers of cake. So I'm doing that for both of the cakes that I baked so that I end up with 4 layers. Now I'm just going to move them to the side and then start working on my first layer. So the way that I do this is I apply 1 layer of cake and then a layer of buttercream in between, and I'm just going to do this for all 4 of my layers. Now if you want a recipe for my buttercream, it is my Italian meringue buttercream that I'm using here. I also have a mock version on my channel as well, which is called the Easy Meringue Buttercream. If you're interested in learning how to do them, I will leave a link for you guys below that you can check out. So I'm just going to add my final layer of cake, and then using my offset spatula, I'm going to continue to ice or crumb coat the cake. Now the crumb coat is just a layer of buttercream, a very thin layer of buttercream that's going to protect the cake while it's in the refrigerator, and it's going to seal in all the crumbs so that it doesn't get into your final product. So I'm going to continue working on the cake, and this time I'm using a bench scraper to make sure that I have very smooth edges. I popped this cake in the fridge for about 15 minutes, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a thin layer again of buttercream in the middle. It does not have to be perfect, literally just however you want to add it, because this is how my sprinkles are going to adhere to the cake, because at this point my buttercream had firmed up in the refrigerator. So I'm just using gold sprinkles. I found it on my local craft store. So if I can find these particular one, I will link them for you guys below in the description box. So I'm just throwing them onto the cake, and wherever the icing is fresh, it's going to stick. So just clean off the board and do your best to make sure that you stick to the cake and not to anything else. So I'm using my offset spatula here to clean off all of the sprinkles that have attached to the bottom. Just like so, I'm going to use my buttercream again in a piping bag, and I'm going to pipe it onto any parts that do not have the sprinkles. So you want to kind of make it into a zigzaggy pattern. You don't want it to be straight. I think that's what makes the beauty of this design, is when the fault line looks, it looks organic. So try not to make it straight if you can. I'm just going to finish off the top, and then using again my offset spatula, I'm going to smooth out the entire side of the buttercream. Now I know some people use a bench scraper at this stage, but I just continued using my offset spatula until I was happy with how smooth it looked. So once you're happy with it, I'm going to use a 1M tip. This is a Wilton tip 1M, and I'm going to make just blobs of icing on top of it, just to add some design elements. So I'm using, I believe, 8 blobs of icing, and then I'm also going to add some sprinkles at the top for some added interest. Now I am really excited because I have partnered with this company, and I will leave all the information for you guys below. They reached out to me and they were very, very sweet. They sent me a packet of gold leaf to review for you guys. Now, when you get the gold leaf, it looks like this. It comes in a little sleeve, and each sleeve is protected, so they're like individually wrapped, and when you grab one of the sleeves, this is what it looks like. So it is super, super easy to use. The way that you use gold leaf is you just use a dry paintbrush or a dry brush, and then you grab it with the brush and then put it on the buttercream. Now, because the brush is dry and the buttercream is wet, it's going to stick to the buttercream and not to the brush. I tried using my fingers and it did not work, so definitely use the brush. It'll give you a better result. So they were really, really nice and gave me a coupon code that I will put for you guys right now, that you can use to get a discount if you go to their store and grab that gold leaf. I really think that gold leaf brings this cake up a notch. It's completely edible, so if you are afraid to use luster dust, or not luster dust, like disco dust or something like that, that is not edible, only not toxic, you can use gold leaf and you will have no issues with that. So definitely check out the description box for all of that information. But yeah, so I'm just going to continue putting on the gold leaf all around the perimeters. I just want to hit the very edge where the buttercream meets the sprinkles, and that's going to elevate it and really make it stand out and make it look 3D. Now, as you can tell, this process is super, super easy to do. This gold leaf, like I said, was very easy to use. It came straight off of the paper. I have used others in the past that were not so great, but this one is really good. So if you want, you definitely should check them out. I will leave everything again, like I said, down below for you. Now, once you're done placing your gold leaf all over the cake, you should end up with something like this. Now, I absolutely love this new trend. I know for a while it was the loaded cakes, like the drip cakes, and then it was the geode cakes. I mean, who is coming up with these super awesome cake designs? Anyway, I absolutely love this new trend, and it was very simple and very fun to create. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss out on any of my future videos. All of my socials are at JaniesSweets. I am on Instagram as well as Facebook. And if you click on this invitation to your left, you can check out my last video. So this is it, you guys. This is it for this week's tutorial. I love you. I'll talk to you next time.